Hi readers, welcome back to my channel, Lila Wanders and Reads. Lee here, and today for Book Talk Tuesday, I'm going to do a book review or book response on My Friends by Hisham Matar. This book won a prize that I didn't even know existed this year, and that was the Orwell Prize for Political Fiction of 2024. This is such a special book to me. I really connected with it in ways that I wasn't expecting. It is set over the course of one day as the lead character, yes, the main character, Khalid, is walking through the streets of London as he's saying goodbye, after saying goodbye to a friend. And I thought that the first probably chapter or two, and the chapters are very short, I love that. I thought, oh, am I not going to get into this because it's inside this guy's head? But no. Inside his head became inside my head, and I just fell into the story. Again, this is such a special book to me. So, it starts with a significant moment in Khalid's life when he, over the radio, hears a short story about a cat eating man alive. And he says that the story's claustrophobic atmosphere, try to combine those two words, manifested so horribly in the man's inexplicable lack of objection, which is rendered all the more upsetting by how effective his protest proves to be when it eventually comes. And that story, this moment is so significant because you realize that it is also symbolic of Libya and the experience of the people from Libya. Whenever I have a book that I really enjoy, I find myself having a hard time expressing what I really loved about this, about it. So I'm going to try to just push on, even if I get stopped a little bit. I have been reading Booker Books, banned books, Booker Book banned books over the past week or so. And one of the things that was most significant to me about My Friends is how it exposes the totalitarianism, I messed that word up in my last video, I'm so embarrassed, of the Libyan regime. And he says in here that the Libyan government was one of the pioneers of what came to be called the killing of the word. Its main purpose was to get rid of, often in spectacular ways, outspoken journalists, as a warning to anyone who dared criticize those who ruled over us. They also talk about, writes about reading being dangerous, and that Khalid and his friend Mustafa are under scrutiny because of their keenness on reading, that we were on the side of books. And they would say that we were fearful of reality, and as everyone knows, too much reading can disturb the balance of a healthy mind, lead it astray, and so on. And that is why I harp on and on about banned books and how dangerous that is because reading is always a target by people who want control over your mind and your decisions. So, reading this, I went back to the Goodreads page, kind of look at, I swear I'm not going to do it every time, but I do. And I wanted to look at some of the ratings. I usually look at the highest and the lowest, and I discovered unexpectedly that Hisham Matar has written a Pulitzer Prize winning, 2017 I believe, book called The Return, Fathers, Sons, and the Land in Between. This is going to be one of my next couple non-fiction books. When Hisham was a 19-year-old university student in England, his father was kidnapped in Cairo, I believe. One of the Gaddafi regime's most prominent opponents in exile, he was held in a secret prison in Libya. Hisham would never see him again. But he never gave up hope that his father might still be alive. 22 years later, after the fall of Gaddafi, Hisham returns with his mother and wife to the homeland he never thought he'd go back to again, in search of the truth behind his father's disappearance. The return is the story of what he found there. It is a brilliant portrait of a nation and a people on the cusp of change, a disquieting depiction of the brutal legacy of absolute power, and a universal tale of loss and love and of one family's life. So I really look forward to reading this. As soon as I realized they had it at the Barnes & Noble, I bought it online to pick up in store later that day. My Friends is also a story of exile and home. Because he attends and is shot at a protest outside the Libyan embassy in London, Hisham is unable to go home ever again until after the Arab Spring, allegedly. We never get that far in here. We get as far as the Arab Spring, sorry. And he talks a lot about missing home and not being able to go home and having to be careful with who he meets and what he says to his parents, who are still in Libya, over the phone because there are active listeners tapping the phones. He longs for home so long and is away so long that it's like he can never go home. You can't return. He says that in here. Like, there's an old, I can't remember the old saying. Never mind. He stumbled upon this. That what I want to return to, I can't return to, because the place and I have changed. And what I have built here might be feeble and meek, but it took everything I had. And I fear if I leave, I will not have the will to return, and then I will be lost again. And I've been lost before, and will do everything not to be that again. And I do not know if it's cowardly or courageous, and I do not care. I have decided, without deciding, this is a long sentence, sorry. Totalitarianism, exile, home. Home is a place you can't go back to. And then just really the story of the power of reading. Mr. Matar mentions a lot of targeted and sometimes killed journalists and authors in here. I tried to go look them up. Luckily, some of them are so long out of print that I could not find them easily, because otherwise I would have had a whole book haul based on this. As it is, I could not find almost any of the novels. Anyway, this has kind of been rambling. I tried to write notes and make it focused, but again, it's so hard for me to express what I loved about the book because it is an emotion. I became Khalid when I was reading this, and I felt what he felt. You can't put that into words. So this might be this might be a short book review for Book Talk Tuesday, but I will be back tomorrow with a book haul, some nonfiction, some fiction, and no sharding. Anywho, that is it for me. I hope you have a great rest of the week. Thank you for watching, and happy reading.